Hey everyone, welcome back. How are you doing, my friends from around the world? If you're new here, we'd love to have you join us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Today, we've got some very important updates from both Ukraine and the Middle East. In particular, there's breaking news coming from the Red Sea. A cargo ship has just been attacked off the coast of Yemen. It's now on fire and reportedly sinking in the Red Sea. The attack happened near the port of Al-Hudaydah, a hotspot for Yemen's Houthi rebels. This is a major development we're closely monitoring. Meanwhile, Ukraine launched a massive overnight drone and unmanned boat attack on Russia's Black Sea Fleet headquarters. At the same time, airports in Moscow were thrown into chaos, with flights halted due to more Ukrainian drone strikes. Moscow is in total disarray right now, which is quite shocking to see. We're also hearing reports out of China suggesting that Xi Jinping may be facing serious political trouble and that his grip on power could be weakening starting today. We've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right into our first story from World Source News 247, one of today's key reports. According to a warning from the UK Maritime Trade Operations, a ship was attacked about 51 nautical miles southwest of Yemen's Al-Hudaydah port. The vessel was approached by multiple small boats armed with light weapons and rocket-propelled grenades. After being hit by unidentified projectiles, the ship caught fire. The situation is still ongoing, and other ships in the area have been advised to stay alert. You can see the UK Maritime Trade Operations warning here. On the right side of the screen is the port of Al-Hudaydah in Yemen, where Houthi rebels are known to operate. The red circle shows the area where the ship is currently under attack and burning in the Red Sea. We've been told that there was an armed security team on board. A security official confirmed the ship was hit by unknown projectiles, which caused the massive fire. This is a very serious incident, likely another rebel attack targeting a commercial ship in the Red Sea. The ship that was attacked is a bulk cargo carrier called the Magic Seas. It appears to be sinking, and the crew has reportedly abandoned the vessel. You can see an image of the ship here. It's clearly in distress, a very unfortunate situation. The UK's Maritime Authority has issued a report on the attack. It looks like the armed guards on board couldn't stop the assault, and the ship is probably going to be lost at sea. We also got tracking information from marine traffic, showing the ship's journey. It was flying the Liberian flag and had departed from a Chinese port called Zhejiang, heading toward Egypt's Suez Canal. So it was passing through the Red Sea when the attack happened. Reports confirm again that there were armed guards on board, but they couldn't prevent the attack. Analysts say the ship was attacked with a combination of small boats and rocket-propelled grenades. It's pretty intense stuff, and we'll keep watching for any response from the United States or other nations. Moving on to Russia, there were major drone attacks overnight. We're hearing that Ukrainian drones and unmanned surface vessels hit the port of Novorossiysk in the Krasnodar region. This port is critical for Russia's Black Sea Fleet. You can see in the video here just how chaotic the scene is. According to NASA satellite images, there are drones flying over the port, alarms blaring and explosions going off, clear signs of a heavy assault. In another clip from someone on the ground, you can hear the loud blasts. One shot shows something burning in the water just offshore. It's suspected to be a Ukrainian drone boat that the Russians hit as it neared the port. There's another angle here, and again, you can hear the air raid sirens and car alarms going off. One video shows what looks like a targeted strike in the water, possibly a drone boat. The footage shows flames in a rectangular shape, which could mean it was a drone vessel. We can't say with 100% certainty what was hit. There's a chance the Russians were firing at a small fishing boat or something else, but it really looks like a drone boat was the target. All of this unfolded in the early morning near the port. It's a big escalation, and we'll be watching closely to see what happens next. Angles covered here, and that wraps up the video segment. Now let's move on to our next post, which comes from Osin. We've also got some additional images showing the two separate objects we just saw in the last two videos, but this time they're shown more clearly and up close near the port. In one of them, you can still see flames. It looks like the fire is almost out now, but there's still a lot of smoke rising from the object. We also have another image from the last video we watched, as well as another one from the first clip. So we've seen two objects hit in these posts, but we're still not entirely sure what they were. So for now, I'm going to hold off on making any conclusions until we get more info. Moving on to the next update about Max 25, and this is some really bad news for Russia coming from the port of Ust-Luga. Russian media is now reporting that the nitrate fertilizer tanker Eco-Wizard has sunk there. Eyewitnesses say they heard an explosion, followed by the vessel slowly going under. Thankfully, the crew was fully evacuated. Here's a photo of the ship in question. Based on eyewitness accounts, it exploded and sank near the Ust-Luga port. So it looks like Russia may have just lost another vessel. and overall Russia's luck with its ships seems to be turning for the worse lately. To give you a better idea of where this all happened, here's a Google map showing Ust-Luga's location in relation to Russia and the Baltic states. You can see Estonia nearby. If we zoom in, you'll spot St. Petersburg on the right and Ust-Luga, an important Russian port, just south of it, very close to Estonia and the Baltics. Apparently that's where the eco-wizard was headed before it exploded and sank near the port. A big loss for Russia, no doubt. Next post comes from Nexa, and it's all about the chaos at Moscow airports and the surrounding areas. Honestly, at this point, it feels like chaos erupts in Moscow almost daily. Today, it's more air travel madness. Flights are being cancelled across the board. People are sleeping on the floors. Some are getting into fights. There are even videos of Russians singing Katyusha in the terminals, which apparently is how they cope with stress. According to the Post, Russia's airports are paralyzed because of the ongoing threat of Ukrainian drone attacks. At Vnukovo airport alone, at least 48 flights were delayed and 74 were cancelled. At Sheremetyevo, 174 flights were cancelled by evening and 47 more delayed. Russia has implemented something called the Carpet Plan, which basically means they expect drone strikes and are grounding passenger planes to avoid any accidental collisions with incoming Ukrainian drones. It's a big deal. We've got some video clips from Max 25's update that shows Sheremetyevo airport near Moscow, totally packed and chaotic due to renewed distancing protocols. You can see crowds of Russians waiting for flights packed tightly inside the terminal. There's one video where a guy talks about the massive delays and cancellations due to distancing rules. He's walking around filming everything. Tons of bags on the ground, people sleeping everywhere, and those big boards showing endless lists of delays and cancellations. It's just full-on airport chaos right now. Unfortunately, I can't show you the clips of Russians singing Katyusha because that would trigger copyright issues. But yes, that's happening across the airports right now. Total mayhem. Now let's move on to the next post, which circles back to Osin's updates. There have been more major Ukrainian attacks on Russian military targets across Russia and its neighboring republics. Last night, we even saw an industrial complex near Chuvashia get hit, and now we have an update on that. We played the video last night during our live stream, but today we've got more details. First, let's replay the footage to remind you what happened. Here you see a Ukrainian Ludi missile gliding right into a building in Chuvashia. Smooth trajectory, direct hit. You can even spot some dogs running near the site. Don't worry, one didn't seem to get hit. Anyway, the building clearly took a big hit and smoke is still rising from it. At the time, we weren't sure what the facility was. Now we know it was the Progress plant, which manufactures adaptive satellite antenna arrays for drones, iScander systems, and Fab UPMK modules used for jamming Russian electronic warfare systems. It was a high-value target, and NASA satellite imagery confirmed massive fires at the site. The strike was spot on. The facility, which was essential to Russian missile systems, seems to have been nearly wiped out by the missile carrying a heavy payload. Moving to our next update, this one's about Zero reports. Apparently there was another successful drone strike on a Russian airbase. Data from July 5th shows that the Borisogledsk airfield may have been hit. Satellite images show fires raging for over 24 hours, suggesting drone strikes on fuel storage and bomb component warehouses. That site reportedly hosts up to 10 Sukhoi 34 fighter jets, so this might be another major loss for Russia. They've been losing aircraft at an alarming rate recently, and this could add to that list. The fact that fires are burning near the airfield's runway increases the likelihood of aircraft damage or destruction. Now jumping over to our final update, which will be featured in the Ukrainian military news segment. Ukraine didn't just strike an airfield. They also hit a Russian base with multiple long-range rocket systems. The destruction was intense. Let's take a look. There's a video showing a Russian walking through the remains of their own base. I've muted the audio because it's super loud, but you can clearly see the base was completely leveled, roof torn off, twisted metal everywhere. Just pure devastation. This was an active base, and it's now basically rubble. This kind of damage was done by Ukraine's long-range rocket launchers, likely HIMARS or something similar. The strike tore through everything, flipped metal, destroyed infrastructure, total wipeout. We're not sure why the Russians were filming it, maybe to document the damage officially, but either way, it's proof of how hard that base got hit. At the end of the video, thank you for listening. Please follow the S News channel. Watch the upcoming videos and support us by subscribing, liking, and